All of Trials is pretty interesting this time around, at least within the top 3. I'll say that this doesn't affect the top 100 at all, because you're not going to find 100 people, probably not even like 10 people who are going to do this. I wouldn't expect more than 100 people to even go for 2 Dust Devil procs in the other setup that I showed. But on the top 3 on the other hand, there's some shenanigans going on. I'm not going to be showing the full setup because I only really have Phase 1 figured out, so I'll show Phase 1, and we can also talk about the odds of us even clearing a run. I've already showed the Dust Devil interaction with Alexa, and I'll say again that even if Dust Devil didn't exist, Alexa would still be better than Hua Young. It's just with Dust Devil added on, Alexa becomes much, much better, and it becomes really RNG to get your high scores. So on a perfect run, we can have Alexa attack 3 times in each break phase. That means 9 Dust Devil procs total across the run. And then, additionally, the best debuffer is either T-Serin or Senya. T-Serin opens up the ability to have a different unit in the back slot, not a thief, which Sylvain Sage Vivian stacks the most attack out of anybody in the game. And then Senya acts as both the debuffer and the attack stacker, because she has greater attack buff from her EE and also attack from her passive. So she did the provoke on her S3, of course. SSV does stack more attack than Senya, but what it's really going to come down to is how many Dust Devil procs you get. And then T-Serin and Senya, their problem is 85% chance to silence for T-Serin, provoke for Senya on their S3. We need to hit 6 adds across the entire fight. And let's take a look at the odds of that happening. The sheet I used for I think the second rotation in the Yufine Hall Trials, because we were using Lionheart Sermia and ignoring the requirements because it did more damage anyways, so we didn't ignore F-Res. T-Serin and Senya have 85% chance of debuff, and we have 6 times we need to land debuff. That's a 37.715% chance. And then on the other hand, Dust Devil is a 30% proc rate. We need to proc it 9 times, and we can do this, just hit it twice. This times this, and let's make this static. Did mean to autofill that, but we can do it like this. And this is the odds of us getting at least X amount of Dust Devil procs, while also landing all 6 of our debuffs. So to get a perfect run, we have a 0.0007423% chance for that to happen. Will anybody even get this perfect 9 Dust Devil run? Who knows? We can take a look at odds, some of the other ones, and then even like 8 is not very high, 7, 6, 5, these are all pretty low. I'd say like my typical limit is if something is less than 10%, I'm not doing it. So really, it's like, you can also see how steep the drop-off is. Like, 0 to 1 is nothing, like, this is down 6%, then 10%, 10% again. This is also only down 7%, but then it starts getting down into, like, pretty small numbers. So yeah, we'll see what the scores end up being. I'm also kind of curious how many Dust Devil procs the highest placing person manages to get. But let's just go and take a look at the run. I will also say that if you're trying this, please don't use ROOZID. There is no point in using this unit. His specialty change is actually the only specialty change in the game I would say is genuinely negative on your account because he costs powder. Please just use Tori. Use Tori. Tori is just better. She's easier to work with, if anything, because she does the CR push. Plus her speed buff is 3 turns. So yeah, just use Tori. I was using ROOZID for fun. So let's put ROOZID back in, and I guess I might as well show my stats. I'm going to do it very quickly. Senya is just stack a bunch of attack, greater attack buff EE. She does have her little imprint, which is nice, but imprints affect your base stats. It's kind of like a gear roll. It's not as impactful as SSV's attack stacking passive on her S1. Cruel Mischief, of course, for more attack. Alexa, the Dust Devil, full damage. Your speed tuning is very, very important. This works for phase 1 for me. ROOZID, random stats, really just... I mean, the bulk is because you take a lot of max HP % damage in this fight. The bulk is kind of whatever. Speed tuning, speed. He does have a speed imprint, which is worth keeping in mind, but Warhorn for the attack boost. And then Acades, I have her really, really fast for speed tuning purposes. And the also kind of important thing is this Proof of Friendship. I'm using it for the CR push onto Alexa for tuning purposes. I also might as well change this to the attack E, just because the attack, I mean, I don't really need it. And then, yeah, that's it. Let's just take a look at her run. Here, I'm looking out for, I am trying to have Senya be ahead of Alexa. So let us reset a little bit here.
Good.
I can see Senya still behind Alexa there. Okay, Senya's ahead of Alexa, that should be fine. I do think I have a little bit of leeway with the speed RNGs. I don't even know if Senya needs to be ahead of Alexa, but just to be safe. And then it's just auto until we get to the break phase. There's not too much for me to say. I mean, I've explained everything in the previous run. It plays out pretty much the exact same. You can see Friendship pushing Alexa a lot, and then ROOZID's gonna get pushed a bunch from Warhorn too. Senya does get her speed buff, which is gonna change her tuning, so you can't really... That's why I had Proof of Friendship on Hades too. You can't just have, like, Alexa be slightly, like, 1 speed faster than Senya, and then have all your speeds line up because of the speed buff from Senya S2. Then here we're gonna want to attack buff, because this is a 3-turn attack buff. This will last the entire break phase, as the break phase will start by the time Alexa takes her next turn. Just like in the other run, we're gonna wait a bit because Senya's gonna get silenced, but Acades cuts. But here it doesn't really matter what you do. I like to press S2 for fun. I guess it's also worth noting that my ROOZID has no skill enhances at all, so his S3 isn't pushing as much, because I'm pretty sure his S3 is a CR push enhance. But we'll cleanse off here, and we will pray that we land both of them. The odds of us doing this is how much? At least... Okay, wait, let's do this. Trials 2. 72.25%. So, yeah, surely we'll land it. And hey, we did. So now we are in the break phase, and we are praying for Dust Devil procs. No proc, of course. And usually when that happens, I mean, if you're looking for a perfect run, you would just reset, but for consistency's sake, Acades has one here. And that is, well, first, we'll say this. And here, I guess, actually on the speed tuning, I need Senya to not be super far ahead of Alexa, because I do need Alexa to cut on this turn. This is just with the speed buff. This is why I'm running ROOZID here, giving Alexa and Senya both speed buff, because Senya is going to have speed buff from her S2, but this gives both of them speed buff, and it makes it easier for Alexa to cut Senya, as my Alexa's speed is higher than Senya's. Now, we will... Okay, we got a Dust Devil proc. And also it's worth noting that the damage spikes up a lot, as with any Hall of Trials, so Dust Devil procs in the later phases are much more important than Dust Devil procs in the early phases. But the reason we have Alexa cut Senya there is because now when Senya goes, he will push Alexa all the way up. And the reason I had a Katie's attack earlier is because let's remember that Alexa also procced Dust Devil. So Katie's attacked once, we had a Dust Devil proc, we have 1 hit left. If neither of those things happened, we would have 3 hits left. And that means that, worst case scenario, if you don't proc Dust Devil on this turn, you would be at 91% after Alexa goes, and then Katie's would have to go, and that would change your tunings, and you don't want your run to be set up so that it changes on whether or not you proc Dust Devil. No proc. But yeah, I mean, that's phase 1. I don't have the other phases set up. It's just the same as the previous video, where I S1, S3, and then S1. Or I think I did S2 before, but you can do S3 too. And then here, since S3 is on cooldown, might as well S2. And even if you don't have to, let's say you proc Dust Devil on your first hit with Alexa in the break phase, and you S2 with the Katie's instead, I S1 on that first turn just for consistency's sake. I don't think it really matters that much, but yeah, that's it for the general setup. You'll have to try and repeat that over all 3 phases, just having the triple Alexa hits. But yeah, good luck to anybody trying this.